The 100% AMI reads with the ALD technology is the secret sauce. It's cut our water loss unbelievably. We've located leaks the day that we installed a Kamstrup meter at a property. My name's Tom Caughey. I'm the Field Operations Supervisor here at the Lower Bartlett Water Precinct. This is Liam Flaherty from E.J. Prescott. Liam's been our support person for metering technology. He helped us make the transition from that touch read system to the full AMI. So the Lower Bartlett Water Precinct's been around since around 1910. So we're a small crew here. We've got a superintendent, myself, and one field technician. We have one admin professional in the office. So I'm sort of the mid-level guy, getting everything organized and workflows, things like that, and also working in the field. My duties, some days are in the office, some days are in the trench box. Our water system, our community is located just north of North Conway, New Hampshire, which is pretty well renowned. We're between North Conway Village and Mount Washington. So it's a four-season recreation community. We're surrounded by national forests, but tourism is the main driver in this area. Our system was unmetered until about 1990, and then we installed the first round of metering. It was a Census Rockwell touch read system, and it was considered state-of-the-art at the time. And we ran that system right up until last year when we went with the Kamstrup AMI. Up until 2012, we would read twice a year, semi-annual billing with a touch read system. So, it's a four-season environment here. So, snow, rain, inclement weather of all kinds, dogs and wasps and hornets were always hazards present with the touch reading. So the main driver for us, our meters were 30 years old. The touch read technology was state-of-the-art at the time, but that had since aged out. So we started looking at different options, and we really needed to replace everything. The touch read system was becoming more difficult. We're a small department. We have just a couple of guys, and so to just go out and touch read consumed all of our resources for a period of time to be able to do that. So it was important. Water loss has always been a driver for us, also with the metering. And we transitioned from contract operations to in-house operations in 2012. And at that point, our water loss was around 60%. So with manual touch read meters, it took us quite a bit of time to whittle that down, using outside contractors and expensive technologies. So by going to the AMI and the ALD technology, we have that stuff in-house at our fingertips now. Our water loss is very variable. Through our franchise expansions, we've connected to community water systems and over time replaced infrastructure at the street, mains, hydrants, curb valves. But it was always common practice here to connect to the existing customer service lines, and the meters were installed in the home. So the existing customer service lines that we sort of inherited from these systems have plagued us with water loss, and that was a very difficult area to narrow down.
Yeah, I think most water systems, you see acquisitions, you see these larger privately owned water companies that buy a whole water system. You're talking hundreds to thousands of 10,000s of services versus buying a small, it could be a homeowners association that you're buying their portion of the system. And so, like Tom said, it could be a whole hodgepodge of different stuff cobbled together, and now you own it, and in turn you're pumping your water through it and supplying them. So to be able to manage what you can't see with Kamstrup, I think has been a game changer for Lower Bartlett. And I mean, the results we've seen have been incredible.
We really shopped the market and looked at everything that was available in our area from different distributors. Ultimately, cost, the simplicity of having everything in one unit. It's a meter, a radio together, and retrofitting. We wanted to replace all our meters 100% and have everything on a timetable where all our metering radio infrastructure was running in unison. And we're a small enough utility, and our superintendent and board of commissioners had the foresight to do proper asset management planning and put the money away to make the purchase, so that we didn't have to decide upon what we could afford. We decided upon what was actually the best solution for us. Cell service is not the greatest up here in the mountains, and we know that we have areas of our system where there just is no cell coverage. Our SCADA systems are all licensed frequency 2-way radio, and the cellular option just wasn't attractive to us. Also, being able to have 100% hourly reads was very important to us. And having the resolution of the data. You know, if we were going to go in on AMI, we wanted to go in all the way and have good resolution on the hourly data.
Yeah, I think like Tom said, the granularity of data was imperative, as well as that 100% hourly coverage really meeting and exceeding the expectations. You know, you hear a lot of vendors out there, they say, oh yeah, we can cover your whole brick system 100%. And, you know, I talked to the utility and it's like, oh, you get one read a week. That's not what Lower Bartlett was looking to do. They were looking to make sure they had that full-time monitoring. And one of the differences compared to some of the other vendors that they compared and evaluated was some of the real-time alarming in a seasonal community. I mean, there's been some fires here, some different instances where, you know, where Kamstrup has actually identified some of the scenarios that are happening.
Most of the time, we're seeing 100% of hourly reads here. Our reading is so good that if we haven't received a reading in 24 hours from a meter, you know, it's an acute indicator of the meter health of that property. That, you know, if we see a meter that hasn't read at all in 24 hours, we know there's something physically wrong at the property. So it's incredible to have the resolution of data that we have now on different properties. It's from seasonal properties to properties that are sparsely used, vacation homes, to even our full-time customers. Having that data resolution available has really helped us meet our level of service in the community. We've been able to do things with hourly usage data that we never thought of trying before. You know, initially I may have had some concerns that it would be too much data to process, but the Kamstrup platform makes it easily digestible. One of our concerns moving away from touch read to a remote read technology was that we wouldn't be setting foot on these properties just to kind of assess the health of the system, look for service line leaks, changes in demographics of properties and things like that. But with the resolution of data that we have from Kamstrup, that worry disappeared very quickly. Yeah, the constant flow of data is important to be able to compare in a window of resolution that makes sense for us as operators. You know, I need to know on a day-to-day basis what's going on in the system. Twice a year doesn't cut it. And with that volume of data, we're exploring doing things that we didn't even think of before. We're working with our engineers to look at things like theoretical water age in the system based on volume combined with our GIS system. And so having that resolution of data really gives us, it's like having 10 extra guys on the crew out in the field. The 100% AMI reads with the ALD technology is the secret sauce. It's cut our water loss unbelievably. no other meter manufacturer is offering ALD, and it's indispensable technology. If you're going to go to an AMI system, it needs to have ALD. It's a waste if it doesn't.
So what makes this story really great is I think it exemplifies partnership in the way that EJP is a family-owned business where we try to run our business and working hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder with the utility. This is the first large-scale deployment we had in the Northeast from an AMI standpoint in Kamstrup project, and the results far exceeded both of our expectations. I think there's been a lot of growth for both sides. For Lower Bartlett, going from a touch read, mechanical read system all the way to AMI, and now starting to bring in different facets of data. And EJP also, helping to support them and seeing what we can do with the Kamstrup data and the power of the system has just been incredible.